Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The topic is excretory system of man. Human excretory system is also known as urinary system, in which the organs, kidneys, along with the certain tubes and with the bladder include. It consists of already you people discussed it in detail in the 10th grade that the human excretory system consists of two kidneys, right and left, and along with the vein and the artery that drains these two kidneys. A tube arises from the each side of the kidney, that is ureter, and then another structure or organ which is known as urinary bladder. It also has an opening, urethra. So all these structures include the urinary system or the excretory system of the human. Then the internal structure of the kidney, as you can see that it is bean shaped. One side is concave, the other side is convex. The concave side face the body, the vertebral column, and the convex side face the body. These are the two certain tubes which enter into the kidneys, like the vein, artery, renal artery, nerves, as well as a tube arise from the kidney, that is ureter. And this is the internal structure of the kidney. You already discussed it, and that outer part is known as cortex, inner part is known as medulla. Medulla consists of certain pyramids, and these pyramids have their functional unit nephrons. The space here, this is the renal space, in which the different collecting tubules arise. The urine formation occur here in the pyramids, in the nephrons. Then the urine is collected here, which is known as pelvis, and from the pelvis a tube arises which is known as ureter, and that take that urine from here, from the kidney, toward the urinary bladder. So this was all about the structure of the kidneys. Next is the structure of nephron. This is also discussed in very detail in the grade 10, that this is the structure of the nephron, which are the functional unit of the kidneys. The two parts, one is capsule and a bunch of capillaries, combinedly collectively they are known as renal corpuscles. Bowman capsule and internal glomerulus. This is a bunch of capillaries which is known as glomerulus, and this is a cup-shaped structure which is known as Bowman capsule. These two consist of renal corpuscles, while a tube arises which adopt different shapes. And this tube, the first part is first convoluted portion or proximal convoluted portion. Next is the loop of Henle, a U-shaped structure which is known as loop of Henle. One is descending loop and the other one is the ascending loop. The next one is the next convoluted portion, second convoluted portion or distal convoluted portion, and then it attach with a specific collecting duct, and these collecting duct then take the urine from here toward the pelvis. Here some nephrons and the flow of the blood is related to the kidney, and here is also a topic is given in your book, that is blood circulation to nephron. How blood is circulated into the nephron? Blood is come here through an artery, and that artery is then divided into arteriole, which is known as efferent arteriole. Efferent arterioles goes inside the glomerulus, and it forms the bunch of the capillaries. Then from there another artery arises which is known as efferent arteries. Efferent artery arises from here and it give rise to the net of capillaries which is known as peritubular capillaries. These peritubular capillaries contact with the renal tubule to the whole part of the tubule, and then these peritubular also give some capillaries to the medulla part which is known as vasa recta. Then these peritubular capillaries combine and they then give to the interlobular capillaries. These interlobular capillaries combine and form the venule. The venule then combine and form the vein, and these veins then give blood to the vena cava. So this is the blood supply of human kidney, that the blood is supplied through this all network of capillaries. Now, what is the function of the kidney? Kidney perform two functions. One is the removal or excretion of the extra material, and the second one is the regulation of the osmotic environment or osmoregulation. So it works in both osmoregulation and excretion. First of all, we will study about its function of excretion, that when blood come here. So first of all, in excretion, the first step is the pressure filtration. Here the blood comes through all these arteries and then capillaries. When the blood come here, the capsule pressurize it, and with the pressure some large molecules of the blood remain here, while small molecule come in the capsule and then into the tube. And this step is known as pressure filtration, because with the pressure here, the pressure in these capillaries are more as compared to the arterioles or the artery. So the pressure is put on the blood to filter the material from the blood into the tubule, and then that material inside the tubule is known as tubular secretion. That filtrate when come inside the tube, another step start which is known as selective reabsorption. When the filtrate move inside the tube, the proximal convoluted tubule, then the loop of Henle, and then the distal convoluted tubule, important material like the glucose, some ions and some vitamins etc. are absorbed here and give it to the capillaries, while the extra material move to the collecting duct. The third step that occur here is the tubular secretion, in which this tube also secretes some ions inside the filtrate, the material that move in the tube. So tube gives some ions to that filtrate, and the purpose is to maintain the pH of the urine, which is normally the pH of the filtrate is, or the urine is normally 4 to 7.5. So this pH is maintained because of the tubular secretion or the ions which are released by these tubes. So in these three steps, number 1 pressure filtration, number 2 selective reabsorption, number 3 tubular secretion. Through these three steps, the urine is formed and the blood of the humans is clean or filtered inside the body. Another mechanism, that is how water is maintained, or the level of the water, or the osmoregulation, which is the second function of the human kidney, the mechanism of the urine concentration that water is absorbed along the whole length of the nephron. Water is absorbed or osmoregulation occur inside the body according to the need of the body. If the body need more water, more reabsorption occur. If the body need less water, less reabsorption occur, and the reabsorption depends on the activity of the tubes and the activity of the tube, the proximal part, then the loop of Henle, then the distal convoluted portion. These absorb more water when the body required more water, and these absorb less water and when the body need less water. So this water absorption occurs through special mechanism which is known as counter current multiplier. Counter current multiplier, that some water absorbed here, some in the descending loop, some in the ascending loop, and in the last distal convoluted tubule. Along with the water, also some salts are absorbed according to the need of the body, and this counter current multiplier act according to the release of some hormone, that is aldosterone and antidiuretic hormone, which is already discussed, that antidiuretic hormone is responsible for the reabsorption of the water. More water is required, more ADH and aldosterone will be released. Less water is required, less ADH and aldosterone will be released, because with the efficiency of these two hormones, the tubular portion become more efficient. But if the efficiency of that hormones become less, its efficiency also become less, and reabsorption will be increase or decrease according to the need of the body. When the body needs less water, less hormone will be released. When the body required more water, more hormone will be released.